Hello again. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Martha. I just want to welcome you and thank you for finding the time, to just come and, listen in. Yeah, so what is new? So my name is Martha. I'm a registered nurse by profession. I come from Zambia and I relocated to the United States in 2018. On this channel, we pretty much share the process, what happened, how I got here, and, some tips on how to adapt to change and all that. Yeah, so today, before we get into the business of the day, I wanted to just say that thank you for you guys, for those that have subscribed. And if you haven't, please just go ahead and click the subscribe button, share with friends that would actually benefit from this information, and just let us grow together on this channel. Yeah, so for me, to continue creating this content, to be able to know that it's helpful content, it would really be meaningful if you guys, just go ahead and comment and, ask questions, and we can interact in that way in the comment section. Yeah, so today I really wanted to focus on the challenges, the challenges that a lot of, immigrant nurses get to face when they relocate to the United States. What are some of the challenges? Because I know that not everything can be all rosy. Not everything is going to be, perfect right from the beginning. So what are some of the challenges that, you can face when you relocate to a new country? So welcome to my channel. Thank you so much. Yeah, go ahead and subscribe and let's get in the business of today. Yeah, so what are some of the challenges? So you are living your home country, you are living everything that everything that you've built, everything. Like for me, I was like, how old? I was 32 when we relocated in 2018. I was 32 years, so everything that I knew, everything that my culture, friends, family, everything was left behind to come and just start anew. The only thing that we could carry were our clothes and our bags, my children, my husband. We had to start all over from scratch, just starting everything fresh. That in itself is change, and change can be a challenge in itself because you have to adapt to the new system, to the new culture, to the new everything that you're moving into. Yeah, so I know when we came in, we had the agencies would tell you to have a certain amount of money in your account. Yeah, and then especially if you have children, if you have a family, it actually even becomes more imminent. You really need that money because you will need it, okay? Yeah, so they say about $5,000 is good. We didn't have that much money. Yeah, the thing is, the agency paid for me, but we had to buy three tickets for my husband and the two kids when relocating. So, buying a ticket is not cheap. Yeah, so I think the time we were buying ours, we had to buy 3 tickets, and I think they were about $900+ for one. Yeah, so we had to buy times 3, and then we needed a bit of money. So we had about maybe $3,000 in our pocket. Yeah, and we were kind of, very frugal with it because we didn't know what to expect. Yeah, so we didn't really want to spend all of it at once. We didn't know where we were going and what to expect. So that's how much money we had. So of course, challenge number 1 would be finances right from the beginning, right? Because maybe you might not have that money that the agency requires you to have in your account. What do you do? Yeah, so if you do not have that much money, I would advise you to go ahead and process all the paperwork that you need for your family. If you have a family, if you're alone, well and good. But if you have a family, go ahead and, process the paperwork that needs to be processed. And they can remain behind until you come in and settle in. And then when you have a bit of money, you can send money and buy their tickets so that they can come and join you. That is one option. Yeah. But in an event that you want them to come along with you right from the beginning, you will need money. You will need money. So number 1 challenge would be financial challenges. Sometimes you might not have the money that the agency requires you to have. What do you do? So I would advise if you can manage, you come in alone and then let your family join you. Or you can come in together and struggle together, start life together right from scratch. That's fine. Because what we did, we came in together, everybody. And then sometimes it actually even helps because you just need support. Sometimes work can be so overwhelming here. You just want to go home and vent to somebody. So if you are that person, you can just come and struggle together until you settle in. So number one challenge would be finances, of course, right in the beginning, because when you come in, it's not necessarily that you're going to be guaranteed that, money will start flowing in right there and then. There are processes. You need to get your social security card. You need to do, the onboarding, and all that stuff. So probably the first pay might come in week 2. Most likely from your start date, you might probably get your first check in week 2 because you won't get it in week 1 of your start date. Yeah, because they need to do the onboarding and all that stuff. You give them your bank account. You need to open up an account and all the good stuff. It's a process. Yeah. So finances, number one challenge. So you have to make sure that you prepare adequately when you're coming. You have a bit of change. You have a bit of money so that you don't really get to struggle. Yeah. And then I would say number 2 challenge that I faced when I came here was, of course, the culture shock. How things are done in here. When I started work, you'd go into the break room, you find people seated, and the first thing that you want to do, I was doing day shifts. Hey, good morning. You greet everybody and everybody's on their phones and then they don't respond. And then you're like, maybe you have one person respond to you and then the rest will just be quiet. They won't even say hi back. They won't even say good morning back. But then again, it's their culture, So some of them would answer. Some of them was just like, okay. Yeah, because where I come from, of course, we greet everybody, especially the people that you work with. You greet everybody. You get along with everybody. Sometimes you'd be working with somebody, like you're on a shift with somebody, you work, you are getting along, and then you meet in the elevator the next day, they'll treat you like you don't even know each other. Like, you see, what, but you greet somebody with a zeal, like, oh, we are together with this person, and hi, and then, they just give you that vibe, like, and then, yeah, so for me, I think that's kind of, but then again, I understand that it's their culture, it's the way things are done, they just don't care. Yeah, so you have that culture shock. There's a lot of practices that, you might, of course, get to experience here and there, just differences. Yeah, and then the other thing, of course, the third challenge I would have was language barrier. Like now, you can understand what I'm saying, isn't it? Yeah, so I had a lot of instances where somebody would be like, huh? What did you say? Huh? And then you want to communicate, but then again, you're kind of demoralized because you have to repeat what you're saying a million times. Like, come on, I say this. What did you say? Sorry, repeat that. Yeah, I say water, they say water. So when you say water, give me water, they don't understand what you're saying. So language barrier with colleagues, language barrier with patients. So those are some of the challenges, like you're trying to communicate something. And then sometimes I just shut down when I was at work because English is not my first language, right? We speak English, it's an official language where I come from, but then again, it's not my first language. So even when you're, telling stories and all that, the first thing that you have to do, you have to think about it in your language, in your head first. I have to think about it in Bemba or Nyanja before I can actually speak it in English. So at work, I was considered a very quiet person, pretty much because I was like, yeah, I was tired of it's having to say something several times before somebody can actually understand it. And then, just having to translate something first in my head before I could actually say it out loud. Yeah, so those are some of the, challenges, like, of course, the culture shock, the language barrier. And then also different, of course, the other challenge would be the different healthcare systems. We come from a place where we were it was all paper charting. And then I think later on, Musakile had tried to introduce, a bit of computer charting, but it wasn't all computer charting. Most of it was still, using paper. Yeah, so and then I come here, everything is computerized. Everything is done everything is computerized. You're giving medication, you have to use them all, patient history and all that is all on the computer. So it's even easy. You know, you are giving medication, you have to scan every pill, even though it's 20 pills, you have to scan all of them. We don't even do that where I come from. Yeah, so you just go grab your trolley, there are meds in there, there's a chart by the patient's bedside, that's how you give medication. Here you scan. And it's a self thing to do. It actually helps you to avoid mistakes, because you don't want to give the wrong medication to the wrong patient. Yeah, so different, healthcare practices, different protocols, different way of delivery of care. But I'll actually just put it out there that nursing is the same wherever you're going to go. Nursing is pretty much the same. A bedpan is a bedpan, here, there, it's the same. Yeah, but I'm just putting this out there to say we had challenges of, practices, different way of practicing stuff. You're going to meet that. Here, they've got a systematic way of doing things, and it's excellent. You know, you have a change in patient status, there's a rapid response, you call for help, they will come. Provided you call them, they are going to show up and going to help out and manage. Okay, a patient calls, there's a code blue team, you call, start, they show up, they are helping. You have respiratory, giving breathing treatments. You have the phlebotomy, they are helping with collecting blood. Everybody has work to do. You have the case manager, you have the social workers, you have all these people coming in and out, helping. Everybody has their job. So I love that. Everything here is systematic. Everybody has a role to play, and they get to do that. Yeah, we don't have that back home. You are a nurse, you're pretty much everything, so different way of practice. So having to learn all that to say, oh, okay, healthcare, delivery of care is different. Yeah, so that's one thing that you probably come and experience when you get here, different way of care. Yeah, so is it a challenge? Learning, anytime you get to learn something new, you somehow have to face challenges. You have to ask a lot of questions. If you don't understand, ask a lot of questions, So what did I talk about? I talked about finances. I talked about the culture shock. I talked about language barrier. And I also talked about, different protocols, healthcare practices and all that. The other thing that I want to put out there is, of course, racism. Racism can be amongst yourselves as colleagues. Racism can be from your patients as well. Yeah, I've had instances where you go into a patient's room because you have to introduce yourself right at the beginning of the shift. Oh, my name is Martha. I'll be your nurse for the day. Okay, you go in, you say hi to the patient, make sure that they're breathing, they're okay before you start your shift. You go in there, you say your highs, you get your assignment, you know who you're taking care of, you go in to say hi. I've had instances where somebody just, listens to gets your accent and like, can I have somebody else? I think we're going to have trouble, communicating because I don't understand what you're saying. Right from the beginning, you're just put off right like that. And then there are certain times whereby a colleague will ask you, so where were you trained from? Well, not necessarily that they want to know where you're trained from. It's like in a demeaning kind of way, where they're asking. Yeah, but I'm a grown woman and I know my job. I'm a skilled nurse. I know I've been doing this for over 15 years. Yeah, so I'm not going to let anybody bully me at any point. The good part about here, the process allows you to report any form of racism. Any form of racism, you have HR where you can go and report. If you feel like you're being bullied in any way, in any form, you have the right to go and report whoever is doing that to you. So do not allow anybody to bully you. Because when you come in, you have that 6 weeks of orientation on the unit. All right? It's 6 weeks. Yeah, you can ask for more time if you're not getting it. That's my baby, yo. She's watching some cartoons. So you're gonna hear some cooing and all that. So I just want to put it out there that do not let anybody bully you, okay? If you feel like you're being intimidated, if you feel like somebody is, getting in your way, you have the right to go and report whoever it is to your HR. And then the other thing that I wanted to put out there is that when you have a preceptor and that preceptor is bullying you, they're not helping you grow, they're not helping you learn, I'm here to let you know that you have the right to talk to your manager and tell them to change the preceptor so that you can learn. You have that 6 weeks period. I know where you're coming from, you might have experience, but this is a whole new system. You are learning. So somebody should give you a chance to learn. So report, and let them change that preceptor in case they're giving you a hard time. Okay? So I just wanted to put this out there. Yeah, so those are some of the challenges that you might face when you come in. But it is entirely up to you to come out and speak up for yourself, because you are all you got for yourself. Okay? You have to speak for yourself. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for your time. Go ahead, share, go ahead, like, go ahead, subscribe, and just support me so that I can continue creating this content for all of you so that we can grow together. All right. Thank you so much. Bye.